I'm sure it is.
All right, so let's welcome, and I'm so humble by Fred here, Fredrick, Subprime Hero. I've been following him and I've been seeing his stuff, and it's unbelievable the kind of stuff he's doing. I mean, and now the reason he's called the Subprime Hero is actually really because he does the right thing by customers, you know. That's great. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Subprime.
Absolutely.
You know, what do you think with this coronavirus? Where is it headed?
You know, it's going to get even a bigger part of the market share. I think you would agree, Richie, that currently with people's struggles with their finances, you know, when they had lost jobs, went on furlough, a lot of their incomes dropped. A lot of people couldn't make their mortgage payments, car payments, credit card payments. You know, even if they could make their bigger payments, they were going to miss the little payments because the more important stuff's your house, your car, things like that.
Wow.
So you're going to see a 3 months from now, how many people's credit scores are going to have a little bit of a effect there. So that means you're going to have those people who are near prime or just above prime that are going to start falling into that subprime market. And that is a share that I think a lot of people are going to be needing to grab a hold of and take care of those customers, because they're not bad people. Every single one of us probably had some kind of financial issue during this time. Every one of us probably had a small pay cut, unless you owned a grocery store or, you know, you were a toilet paper maker. You probably right now need a little bit of help. So that being said, you know, I think that the market's going to blow up. I think there's going to be a lot of people who need vehicles. And when they do, I think that we need to be able to cater from not just the 800, 900 Beacon scores. We need to be able to do it for everybody who has a job, everybody who has a way to pay, and everybody who needs a vehicle, you know, and that's what I think is going to be happening very soon.
You know, I was talking to you before the live about the solution that we came up. So we became a partnership with Cox Automotive. In other words, every lead that I provide to a dealership, they have the option in August. It's going to be developed. It's going to be ready to launch in August. In August,
Yeah.
go right to your dealer track, And I wish I knew the screen share to show the whole PowerPoint that it is with everything, but I'm going to send it to you.
I can't wait to look at it, man. That's very, very, I think, innovative. And I think it's going to help people save a lot of time, especially with their subprime customers. You know, you can go ahead and as easy as just, I mean, from what I'm hearing about it, to me, it sounds like it's why wasn't it there already? You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm excited about checking it out and seeing what it's about, especially with as much subprime as I do, you know?
So, I mean, part of my service is I provide leads, right? So
Yeah.
Subprime and whatever. But one of the things with my service is I get a lead with name, phone number, email, and car make and model that they want, but I sent out an email confirming that with more questions, right?
Sure.
So that same questions, there's going to be a link there to go to the application that Cox is going to be providing. It goes right into your portal at Dealer Track, right?
Right.
And it's a whole process. It goes through the whole thing, right? Now we're going to target subprime. The only thing I want to talk to you about subprime, because with this thing that's going on now, there's going to be a way of life now, right? Like we have catering halls, right? My partner owns 2 catering halls in Long Island. So one of the things with that is that I tell them people are going to keep doing weddings. It's just going to be different. People are going to be wearing masks. People are going to be sanitizing their hands, but you're going to see weddings with masks. That's what the truth of the matter is, right? And maybe you'll see weddings in Zoom, you know, it'll go virtual. I think they did one Saturday. I'm going to send the link out. Yeah. We have a link that the couples were there and the whole thing, right? Oh, so that being said, that's what's going on in the business right now, you know, which is a very important thing. And the subprime business, I mean, I just got an email. I've been with the Experian for quite some time for Data Select Part.
Right.
And they sent out to everybody's they sent to everybody this email. You know, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, they've seen the traffic on subprime really go low. And I can understand why. If you have a customer that's subprime, even though you get it in Dealer Track, you still got to bring the customer in because you need POI, PORs. You need to structure a deal with them, right?
Right.
So
I agree.
This is like really, really important. A good friend of mine's named Doug, the Cadillac man. He's out in Michigan. He does a lot of subprime. I mean, that's brand is too, subprime. That's what he concentrates on, you know. So
Yep.
the subprime, really, we have to look at, and lenders got to look at subprime now a little bit different than POIs and PORs, because the customer might not want to come to the dealership. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, it's what I've noticed. You know, in where I work, we're about 85% subprime. So when we looked at the market when us all hit, and you know the coronavirus was like, boom, here it is, guys. You guys can't let people in your showroom. You're gonna have to do everything digitally, curbside, home deliveries. It's, you know, it made it a little bit more difficult. The traffic went from a whole bunch of traffic where we were constantly busy submitting apps to like having to pull teeth to get people to come in, especially to come into your store. So a lot of the times what we did was we spent extra time trying to get extra stuff from the app, trying to get their steps, making sure that we had a good deal before they came in. So the customer knew that they weren't wasting their time. They were going to save a ton of time, whatever, not being here at the store. They could do it all on their couch. Now, I love the program that you're talking about, because I think that will eliminate some of that. There's a lot of programs out there right now that people are starting to come out with. There were solutionaries out there that were say, hey, look, during this time, how do we increase the processing time from the time you contact a customer to the time you deliver a vehicle to a customer right now? So the way you can shorten it is by doing things digitally, offering F&I online, getting those leads like you're talking about, using those leads, and then being able to process those leads, and and then be able to call them and say, hey, I got something for you. This is what I need, and boom, it's done. So I think it's great. I think it's the way to go. I think that the future, a lot of people talk about, oh, I don't need all this technology. I don't need this. I don't need that. Well, it's not going anywhere. It's just getting better. The way the formats of these programs are, they're smoother now. They're easier to understand. I think that as we go into the future, it's better to innovate instead of sit back and say, hey, I hope it goes back to the way it was before, because it's never going to go back to the way it was before, Richie.
Well, you want to know something? I'm going to tell you. I believe that there's no dealership that could survive today with subprime. Let me tell you why. Because subprime is not only a sales thing, it's a service thing, right? And it's a parts thing. So when you deliver a new car versus a pre-owned car, it's helping your service department. And those same cars that got a 5-hour RO also got parts. So that being said, a dealership, if he's not penetrating 25 to 30% subprime business, he's really losing a lot of revenue.
There's no doubt about that. You're 100% right, Richie. 100%. Those deals, like from maintenance to little things that happen to vehicles that have 30 to 60,000 miles, if not more, those things. And then they come back to the people they trusted, the people they sold it to. If you can offer that service for somebody, it's great to be able to do so. There's a lot of dealers out there that don't believe that the subprime market is really that important. Well, it is, and it's exactly your point. It's not just on the sale of the vehicle; it's the after the sale of the vehicle. And to touch on that, I know we're talking about service, but I can get a little deeper. Even like those customers are more appreciative, if that makes sense. You help them rebuild their credit. You gave them a path to success. Say, hey, look, do well here. You have to do everything else in your life well too. But make sure you make these car payments on time. Make sure you do this. Maintain your vehicle. Come see us. We'll give you discounts on oil changes. We'll do all this stuff. We'll know that it's good. So when you trade it in with us, we're going to give you top dollar for it. So that's later down the sale. When they trade it in, they're going to come back with better credit and a car that was maintained by you. You know how good the vehicle is. So it should be worth a little bit more in your heart. Even if it's not, it's still in their mind it is. You know what I mean? So it's always about keeping the client happy and being able to do that. But at the same time, making some monetary things happen, it's fine. Making that extra money it's giving them a service, and they pay you for that service. And it's like you said, with a pre-owned vehicle over a new vehicle, you're going to see a bigger increase in service coming in with revenue, the whole nine. So and also an opportunity to talk to them again, opportunity to see them, see how their vehicle is, and when they come in and they don't really like it, you have a time to talk to them before they go somewhere else and try to trade it, so it's a great thing. It really is.
Well, not only that, you got to understand something. What subprime does is increases service, increases parts, but it increases your retention. Why does it increase your retention? Because people talk to their friends and say, you know what, I got a car. Their friends knows the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Even if they have good credit or bad credit, don't matter. Now they're going to be loyal to that store that deliver the car. I mean,
Right.
so it increases different departments in the automotive sector. And now with this problem that there is with the coronavirus, that's why we came up with this solution, because Corona is not going to go away no time soon. Okay.
No.
Now this solution will be ready in August. And
Wow.
it said that it's going to be ready in August. Dealers have the option to say, Richie, you know what? I paid for these leads. I wanted to go to my dealer track. So this, and now you know it's a real lead, because let me tell you, if a customer fills out their information and it goes to your dealer track, you have a better shot of putting a deal together than versus just their contact information.
I agree, and it's also an accountability thing. So when you have that lead on there, let's say that you're a finance manager, okay, and we all know that sometimes when you have plenty of good credit, these little subprime deals don't matter that much. But when your owner sees that you're not touching these subprime leads, you're not making submissions on these subprime leads, he's going to come talk to you, which is nothing wrong with that. It's good. Everybody needs accountability somewhere. I need accountability. The owner of my store needs accountability. The president of the United States needs accountability. Everybody needs accountability in some form or some way. And I think that is a good way to get them accountable for their subprime leads, to be able to actually process them. I think the number one problem with most finance managers out there is that they just don't want to take the time to collect the steps, submit this deal, because they know that it's going to take a little bit more than it normally would. You may have to research the customer a little bit deeper, make sure that their pay stubs are legit, make sure that their proof of residence is available, that they have all their references and, insurance with deck pages and the lien holder listed, which you should do anyway. But, a lot of people like to get lazy and just move it forward, it takes a little bit more work, but it's like you said, the retention. These customers come back, they give you service, they give you this, they bring you referrals, and they bring you breakfast the next day. It happens more times than you believe. It's unbelievable how much they really care, and they don't haggle. They don't haggle near as much as a prime customer who walks in and, I can go anywhere I want, right? You got these customers who are like, I need your help, and you're like, I want to help you. So if you become the problem solver instead of a car salesman, it changes everything. It really does. And that's flipped the game for me. It's really helped with my sales team that I have on the floor. All my guys, we believe that we're for the people, that we're here to solve transportation problems, and we're car buying coaches. And that's what they are. They're here to coach these people on how to buy cars, because in the past they made mistakes because no one told them how to do this. Or maybe they made a mistake and went through a divorce. Maybe they had bankruptcy because they lost their job, or they're going through the coronavirus and they didn't have a job for 2 to 3 months, right? These things happen. They are people. That's the thing. Everybody deserves a chance to buy a car. And if you treat these ones right, they're good.
By the way, we're ready to take any questions. We have 17 views right now. So anybody that feels they got to ask some questions or something, please do too. And the other thing I wanted to ask you was a key, I shared it in a lot of groups, a key question for you is the process today, right, in subprime, right? Cars Direct has one of the best lead gen in subprime there is, right? So I have a strategic partnership with them on there, and what I do with them is, let's say your store, you hire them and you're about ready to cancel. Everybody blames the lead gen, right? So I'll go in your store, right? I'll go in your store and I'll do an assessment, see how you structure the deal, see what you did with that deal, right? So that being said, I mean, David Bennett is the vice president of Cars Direct and operations side. That's what we do. We look at the store, because let me tell you something. If that store does not have the right structure, because subprime is all in the structure,
so much. Yeah.
If you don't have it structured, it's not going to go anywhere.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really, really important. The structure of the whole deal.
You're 100%.
A lot of these stores order 100 leads, and what's hard? It's hard to follow up. Just a follow-up process that you gotta have when you buy leads. Subprime is very hard. You gotta call these people up and get them in the door, because they ain't coming in the door. They apply for something online, and maybe they say, I'll never get approved. You know what? So it's about that call. It's about that email. It's about that SMS. Subprime is much more difficult than new car leads or used car leads
No
because
doubt about it.
everybody's calling them. So, what are your
Yep.
thoughts on that?
That's you're exactly what you said. It's about your process, and it's about the way you structure everything. So first of all, you have to train your sales team. But it starts from the management up, because the management has to understand what the scripts are for the phone, the whole nine. I train my team. We train our team, I should say, the whole management team. We do a great job. We train really hard with these guys. We do phone training. We make sure that they understand how to do incoming phone calls, outbound phone calls, orphan owners, so on and so forth, old school Stuker stuff, right? But there's also stuff that we use that's newer. You know, we've come up with some of our own scripts because we have a different process, the way we like to do things. The real key is having a clear and transparent process, not just for your customers, but for your salespeople. Your salespeople have to understand that process, just like anything else. If they can't explain the process in a very simple way, that means they don't really understand the process. So that being said, until your sales team understands and is ready to do this process, and the management team, it's not going to work. Your management team has to hold your sales team accountable for how many phone calls are going out, how much their follow-up. Like you mentioned a moment ago, you got to make the dial, you got to email and SMS everybody that you talk to. And in today's world, if you can get the information, you may want to Facebook message them. You may want to Instagram them. You may even want to TikTok them. Whoa, right? So
yeah, you want to wheel them in, right?
In today's world, that's the TikTok crowd is now buyers. They are now buyers. I mean, they were correct. 18 years ago. You know, it's crazy to think that, but they can buy cars now. And that TikTok generation is getting older and older. I'm starting, especially during this coronavirus, you're seeing everybody on TikTok having fun with their families or whatever. But it's weird that a TikTok can actually help you gain business and customers. But I am a firm believer. I'm going to throw out as many lines in the water as I can to get a hold of a customer. Because as soon as I can get a hold of them, because that time period of them wanting a car and them, man, never mind, is very short. It's any attention span of anybody is like, I like the car, I really want some help. And then they lose it. And then they're like, I'm too busy. I got a barbecue. We got this going on. We got that going on, right? So you got to get them really quick, and you got to let them know you care. So sending your message out, at least phone, email, and SMS is so important. And then once you get the approval, you have to make sure you have a great follow-up for that. A lot of people will call and say, hey, I got an approval. Here's your rate. Here's that. I only give up information. I keep it simple. I keep it simple, silly. I keep it simple, stupid, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why is that only give what they ask, right? And it's the thing is, interest rates, they can vary. They may show up and have an extra $1,000. Now the rate goes down, but we wouldn't have known that unless they got here. They may have a cosigner that can help them when they show up here and they drive a car and they love it. So there's so many things that you have to go through, but the process is so key. Once again, you have to make sure your salespeople understand your process. They have to be able to man the phones, especially in subprime, like you're talking about, getting these leads. I'm talking, we deal with here at my store, I'm very fortunate. We have on average probably 1,300 leads a day. I mean, it's crazy to say. We have a very, very good subprime. Now we mark those, and they're tough. You're going to dial about 8 to 10 calls before you get a hold of them. I know my numbers. On average, throughout the years, it's been 8, but this past little bit, it's been about 10 dials before you get a hold of somebody. Then once you get a hold of them, setting the appointment's a whole other. It's about a 50% chance. But usually it's a good percentage because it's 50 because you're getting a hold of somebody on the first dial. Now, there's also that sales stat out there talks about it takes 8 dials before you can actually get a hold of somebody, and this and that, and people give up before. So, and I believe that. It's about consistency and making sure your guys do that. Now, we have a lead tracking thing that we use, and our guys get on there and they make phone calls. It also resets them up a schedule. It's really awesome. Anybody wants to know, you could always just DM me. I'll talk to you guys about that some other time. It's nothing. It's awesome. It's very simple, but it's, could it be better? It could be. I'm not saying it's not. So if there's somebody out there that has something that's even more amazing than that, please let me know. But my guys are required to make 80 dials a day at least. All right. So that gives them an opportunity to talk to about 8 people. I'm a big firm believer in 10 meaningful conversations a day, 10 of them. So that meaningful conversations, like where you got further than, hey, call me back later. You know what I mean?
Right.
That doesn't mean you accept the appointment, but if you do 10 a day, you're going to be moving somewhere. So that's the minimum. So, right. We have these little processes we teach these guys. Yeah, it always has been. I always tell people it comes down to dials. That's the number you need to follow the most. And then you could track the rest of your numbers really easily. But the dials and appointments shown, and then cars sold, units delivered, whatever. Right. And, my ratios are pretty good there. It's in subprime. It's not as good as prime, I'm sure, but our closing percentages at pencil are very, very high. First pencils are extremely high. And like I said, the gratitude and the repeat business, extremely high, extremely. And then, service money, all that kind of stuff, that all comes into play. And we do really well.
Here's the thing. About 5 months ago, I was on the road and we sold some subprime leads, right? Okay,
Right.
so they, oh no, this is not. I says, okay, let me see. Okay, so I go to their marketplace. They bought 100 leads. Out of those 100 leads, 7 of them were in their marketplace that nobody even looked at it. Okay, now when I saw that, I says, then the dealer says, you know what, Richie, you're right. I'm going to get more leads from you now, right? I'm going to hire you to put some infrastructure together. Correct. Because when that customer applies, they get an email from us under your brand. So now they're going to go to the marketplace and start looking for cars. You see, so we have a whole process. So wait a minute. It didn't work. Then why do these 5 customers went to your marketplace? And the last message was, why isn't nobody getting back to me? Now, I saw a very big opportunity. Listen, we sell leads, right? But the real truth of the matter is, I wish that a store tells me, hey, Richie, it's not working. So I can send you to Brian Maxwell, Brandon Haddison, or all these trainers that I have access to, Val Mazzone. So then I can do training for them. So I can really help them. I don't want them to be at a ratio of 15% delivery with 100 leads at 15 cars. And that's where they are. I really want to fail. You know what? I really want to fail because I have another solution for a failure.
I love it.
In a trainer that's professional and figures out and does a full assessment. So that's what we do, right? How could you have leads active running campaigns that I have on Facebook all the time, campaigns and Instagram, and you don't check your marketplace? That's the first thing I tell a dealer. Listen, you got to keep somebody on that marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing the dealer's going to do is when they see your ad, they're going to go immediately to where your inventory is on Facebook.
Right.
I only do marketing in Facebook. I don't use Google because I have the IHS audience, so it's a very big conversion for me. So how can you do that? And you sound like you have a great process. When a process like that, more and more dealers need to know about it. Need to know how good you are. Like what you just said now about 10 people. 10 people is important. Real qualified 10 people. Now you're going to convert.
Richie, I don't know if you can hear me, but you're cutting out. I don't know if it's my side or your side, buddy.
I don't know which side, but that's what you do. You know the process, and that's why you can convert. Oh, I lost him. I think your camera went down. Could you hear me?
You there, Richie?
Yeah, are you there?
All right, sorry, buddy. I don't know if it was my signal. I just turned off the Wi-Fi and just went straight to the
okay, no problem.
5G or whatever.
So what I was saying was that you have such a lucrative process. Well, you just said now 10. A lot of people don't even say that. That I got to talk to so many people, So that's why you're so successful at what you do. But not only are you successful at what you do, is you're doing the right thing by the special finance customer. Because they're going to be, they're special finance today, but tomorrow they're going to have good credit, especially with all the tools today, how to fix your credit. You get a car and you pay that car like clockwork, your credit score is going to bounce up. So you're providing a service to these customers.
Yeah, I'm trying to change their lives, but I'm trying to guide them a little bit. I'm not saying that I'm a credit counselor, I'm any of that. What I am is a professional at my job. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I love what I do. So I'm always looking for the new, innovative way, but I'm also trying to give people truth. And that's the number one key in subprime. Believe it or not, don't be that old school, hey, buddy, you want a car? Be the guy that's like, hey, I really want to help you today. And ask questions. Really figure out what their needs are, and then show them what their best options are. sometimes the option isn't going to be the 4x4 pickup truck that they're dying for, or the Ford Mustang that's, the 5.0. It's going to be that Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or whatever it is, maybe a small SUV to get them going, to reestablish. But until you coach them and get them into your store, it's hard to do that, but you train, you do the right stuff, you talk to enough people, and then you just enjoy the fact. I mean, there's nothing more gratitude. Like when we sell a subprime customer, you'll see them cry sometimes. You'll see them literally just like in like awe, like shaking when they're signing, can't believe it's happening.
Right.
That can just happen to me one time a week, and I'm good for the year. You know
Right.
what I mean? And I'm like so happy to help out, and I'm so much more passionate about the next person that comes in. And that's the future. And it's not just, and I believe that you should treat everybody like a millionaire. That's kind of like the old school saying.
Yeah,
it's so true. Everybody that walks in, I'm gonna shake their hand, look them in the eye, and act like they're my brother. They're somebody that I want to help so bad. Even if I can't help them today, I'm gonna give them what I call the path to purchase. And we even have a little thing right here. I just pulled it up. You see that? It's called the personalized path to purchase. I don't know if you could read that, but we make sure that everybody has a road to the sale, whether they could buy or not. So when they leave here, they're going to have something you need a little bit more money down. You need a co-maker. You need to be on your job for another 2 to 3 months. You need to work more than 32 hours a week, so on and so forth. Whatever it is, whatever the recipe is to help you be able to get to the road to success, we're going to be able to provide that for you. And we love being able to help people. And that tells you, if people come back 2-3 months later and they're like, we got the money down, I got the co-signer, I've been on my job for 3 more months, and they're like so excited. They're like got everything they need. It's because we did this. It's not because we just told them, hey, you can't help you. Go up the street.
You're actually branding yourself into that. I have another question. Social selling is very big now, right?
Oh,
So here's a thought. If I'm in the car business, the social selling I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in customers into my live, because everybody loves live, especially this generation today.
Yep.
Right. So why wouldn't you, as a salesperson, as a manager or whatever, have the yard stream, right? StreamYard, whatever, and bring in your customers, right? And engage with your customers. Now you're hitting their audience.
Dude.
That's selling. That's really, really.
That's the future.
Right. So I see all these live people that are talking about them and this, that, me. If I'm in sales today, I'm doing this 2 times or 3 times a day. At delivery, I'm sending a link to the customer. Would you mind going on about the process you experienced? Now, I'm hitting their audience, right? So they're tagged on it. Okay, that's social selling. Social selling is not saying how great I am and blah, 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 because it's about this today. It's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Isn't that the truth, right? And what they see about you. Yeah.
Right. It's not who you know. It don't matter who you know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's who knows you. So now bring in the customer, and that customer is talking about their process with you. Bang, what do you got? You got a live testimonial going to their audience. And what about if their audience shares it? Now that's social selling. I have a whole PowerPoint I'm going to send you. That's really social selling.
No doubt.
I only go on Facebook to maximize some opportunity if there's any, and that's it. That's what really matters, is about the knowledge you have, the knowledge you can share that can help others. That's really social selling. So if you're not doing that process, the 30 car group guys especially, if you want to learn social selling, that's how you learn social selling. Engage with your customer on live. The age group from 25 to 45 is when people buy cars. And that age group is on live. They buy 3 to 4 cars or maybe 5 cars. They get upside down and then they go to bad credit. So, hello, and that's the audience that wants to go live. So start doing that process. Tell me, Richie, how can I get to social media? Well, I'm saying it here on live because I'm busy all day long sometimes, and I apologize. I'll get back to you. But guys, that's social selling right down to the nitty gritty in the most basic way I could think of. Not hard to do. What do you think?
It's not. Man, you hit that so perfect, Richie. I mean, that's exactly how I would explain it. And the key is just doing it. You know, a lot of people are like, I don't want to be in front of a camera. I don't want to do this. Well, here's the deal. Most people, if you set an appointment up with somebody and they're coming in, what do most even salespeople do? They're going to look their Facebook up. They're going to look up their Instagram, see who's coming in. What do you think your clients are doing? They're doing the same thing. So the more that you have out there that shows you with your clients, honestly, the StreamYard doing that with your clients, boom, I love that. That's as soon as I leave this office today, I'm going out and having a meeting, and I'm going to go ahead and throw that out to them. So because I have them doing video follow-ups with their customers. I have a team, the Dream Team working here with me. They've been doing YouTube videos for like thank you videos to their customers because they haven't been able to do the social talking and get to really know them in person. And so they're doing everything. They did Zoom meetings for walk-arounds. They've done all that stuff. But I love the idea. I totally love the idea of doing a StreamYard live with your clients. I mean, come on, that is so awesome. You know, even right now, if they're on the lot and you're doing a curbside, you could be inside your office and here waving through the window, and they could be over there, and you could talk on it. Really, I love it. I'm Richie. I love it. So it's so key because clients in the future, the more and more, like you said, that group between 25 and 45, right? Those people are the ones. Not just are they buying, but they're buying every 2 to 3 years. Correct. They're not the ones who are gonna. This is my last car, or this is my first car, and I'm gonna keep it forever. You know. It's that group is that perfect group, and you have to market to those people, and you hit it right. You need to make sure you're on social media because everybody in the world's on social media. I'm on social media now, so it means everybody's on social media, right? So I believe that. I see it. I see the growth, the potential. I'm not even selling cars on there, and I've sold cars from this. So and I'm not, I love it. I think that's a great idea. I can't wait to go pitch that to my salespeople and say, hey guys, do this for me today. Next time you deliver a vehicle, I want this. I mean,
this is a tool, and it's a machine. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm a professional salesperson. I'm not shy to say that that's who I am. So I look at everything as a sales approach, right? So get your customers that you've delivered that love your process on Yard Streaming. Now you're hitting their audience and sharing it on their groups. And if you're in social media, if you're a salesperson that's on social media, you're going to belong to your local groups, right? Mm-hmm. To all your local groups. So what you do is you share it in your local groups. There's buyers there. Like in Kentucky, right? I'm pretty sure Kentucky's got the Kentucky nightlife, Kentucky weddings, but there's customers there.
Oh, yeah.
Now you can share your experience, and no group is going to take you down and say, because you're sharing the consumer from that group, you're local, you're from the group, and the consumer is giving you a hand about what a great job you did for me. So social selling, that's how I would do social selling. I didn't know about this tool. I mean, I learned this tool from Rebecca. I went on her live. I thanked her so much for it. I didn't know about this because I'm always broadcasting in the studio. You know what? I don't really have the time to follow things up like this. And, I'm 56 years old, so I don't come from this era either. So all I've done is learn, and I've tried to do my best at it.
You've done a great job, Richie. You've really innovated. I've even noticed a change. Even though you had your show before, I could see what you're doing right now, and I love it. So I'm excited about being on the show with you today.
And I want to thank you so much. I learned so much by following you. I'm always sharing your stuff. And by the way, guys,
I appreciate that.
The other thing I do is I share every professional salesperson that's out there. All right. I'm not shy to put everybody on my Facebook. Not shy at all. The reason I share that is because it's knowledge. It's information that's going to help the consumer out. You want to know something? It's so important. Like Doug is on there. Robert Dams is on there. Guys from Texas that I know. All these guys are on there. I always share because you know what? I believe in sharing because if I wouldn't have been with Rebecca, I wouldn't have known you. And the share is very important. That's why I share your content all the time with my audience because of the respect that I have for giving the consumer the right perception. Because you know what? And I love it because I know as a fact that that's what the issue is. People are not sharing on their Facebooks. They don't want to share. I don't care who friends you. I don't care. I'm not interested in that. Friend everybody I have as a friend. Who cares? The whole idea, that's what social media is about. And until you don't know that, it's not going to grow. No. Until you don't let people in, you're not going to blow up.
Boom. That's just
Bottom line.
fact.
You gotta let people in. That's what it's about. Share with the world. You know, you get more respect out of it, and sharing is caring. Like my mother told me when I was 4 years old. Okay,
Darn right.
Catholic school. My mother says always share, because sharing is caring. You know, and be humble, guys. You know, share. It's only fair. Just use that. You know,
Yeah.
so everybody.
That's what it's about, man. I love
anything
sharing.
you
That's
share.
what all I want to do too. I just want to share. I'm not looking for anything monetary. I'm just looking to help. I think that I've been doing this so long, I'm stuck in my auto group, right? And not saying stuck, I love it here. And I talked about that before the show, how much I love being here. This has been one of the best places I've ever been, one of the places I've learned more about how to be a people person than anywhere else. But, you know, you got to share. You got to give all the love. And when I went out and I decided to start doing my first video, and it's scary, people. Don't get me wrong. The first one is always the scariest. I've done hundreds of them now, so it's like I'm kind of blind to it now. I'm to the point where I believe that people want to see the vulnerability of you. They want to see that you can make a mistake when you're talking a sentence, that you can, when you say something, you have to stutter through it sometimes. It's normal. We are people, and people love seeing people. You know, you may get some hate. That's okay. If you're getting hate, I always say that means you're doing something great, because everybody who's doing something great gets some hate. Love your haters. I put a video out the other day talking about that. Love them. If they send you anything negative, don't hit them back with negative. Tell them, man, I understand your opinion. You don't have to like what I have to say. I love you, and I hope you the best day. And that's what I usually do. And I want everybody to be happy. And, you know, maybe another video down the road, they'll watch it because I did that, and they'll find something out of it. And if they do, they'll probably message me something nice. Say, hey, man, you know what? I appreciate how you treated that first situation. And then the second time, you know, I really loved the video. It actually gave me something to help me move a metal, help somebody buy a vehicle, help somebody train one of my salespeople how to be better at something. So that's the whole point. And then I watch stuff. I watch you. I watch, you know, obviously I watch Becky. I watch, you know, I watch Anthony Santangelo. I watch, you know, so many, Frank Lopez, Adam Marburger, El Patron. I watch all these people because they're influencing me too. And I'm hoping that one day I can help influence them. But they give you the guidance, and then what they do is they get out there and they put themselves out there and they let people know who they are. Right. And that's what you're doing right now. And Richie, you're doing a great job, man. And, you know, I think you and I have known each other for, you know, about a month or so now on, you know, connected. And man, I love what you do. I appreciate everything you shared of mine. I try to honor and do the same thing for you. And that's the other side. You know, you do something like that, and it makes the other person say, you know what, I'm going to share. I want to share Richie stuff too. You know, it gets them moving, because sometimes people forget to share. I know sometimes I might go a week and I forgot to share anything.
I really don't do it for anybody to share my stuff. I really do it. I really do it for my audience to know what's out there. Like, I wear a mask all the time now when I'm out, right? Mm-hmm. I don't wear the mask for me. I wear the mask for the other people. When you help somebody, you're not helping somebody to see what you're going to get out of it. No, you're helping somebody so he or she helps the other person like you did. You don't want to. I don't want anything back. All I want to do is do that, because that's what it's about. It's about helping others. There's a lot of guys that are coaches that put help. Well, when you call them, they want these big numbers, right? That's not what I do. What I do is I'm about sharing and helping others. Whether you share it or help me, I don't really care. That's not what my agenda is. Mm-hmm. That's not who I am. Nope. You know, and that's what's more important. Helping others succeed gives you a good satisfaction, because then they're going to transfer that torch. They're going to get the same torch and help. So the human race needs that more than ever right now, especially with the
no doubt.
You know, and I never post anything about haters. You know what? If I have haters, great. I'm pretty sure I do. Who cares? I concentrate on guys. I concentrate on guys like you. I'm not going to put on their haters. You look at my wall. I never put that up. I concentrate and I try to spend the most time I could on earth with the people that are following me and the people that are about Richie. The other guys, I don't even care. You know, it doesn't matter. And you know what I say? I have a motto. One thing that I do say: you unfriend me, I block you. Problem solved.
Hey, good point. What is it? How does that affect you? Right? It doesn't affect you one bit. I love the New York.
Right.
You know, my partner on my podcast, Lou Ramirez. He's kind of chimed in a few times. He's originally from New York area too, and he's got that, you know, when we talked with Patron the other day, he was all, starting to get that thicker accent just going.
Yeah.
So I love him for it.
Matter.
That's my favorite accent's the New York accent, I got to say.
Well, listen, I'm going to announce you now that I got 15 follows also that next week I'm going to invite certain guys from the 30 car group for a training on social selling. And I have a whole process and a whole PDF. And I would like you on board with me.
Oh, I would be honored to. I would be honored.
I'm going to send you the link for you and your team. Send it to anybody you want. Go over the live process, how to interview the whole process.
I love it.
How to do it at least twice a day. And if you're delivering 30, 40 cars, you're just going to deliver more because now you're hitting that audience. That's how you're really going to become a brand.
I believe that 100%. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. That'll be fun.
All right, great. Fredrick, thanks a lot for your time. It was an honor to have you here. Thank you so much, sir. And I
appreciate you having me. You have the best week, man. I appreciate you, Richie. Keep doing your thing. Keep growing, my friend, man. Seriously, keep sending that love out there because everyone can feel it. So I appreciate you and keep growing, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Bye-bye.
Peace.